doomed in 22 hours? Well, that's something to start the stream on, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. We are now up and running. Hold on. Nice. Yeah, sorry, Ona, you're not first at all. Okay, that should be the sound balance. Yeah, there we go. Hello there, everyone! So I'm Agree. Welcome to From the Depths. This is not the adventure mode stream. Not at all. This is actually just a vehicle building stream. So yeah, I'll be in the vehicle designer, doing random bits and pieces and doodads. Actually, I'm not quite happy with the sound just yet. Oh wait, no, sound is absolutely fine. Okay, right. Fixed. Right. Call the Inquisition. Certainly, but please avoid invoking an exterminatus if you'll be so kind. Because, quite frankly, I can't be bothered to fill out the paperwork for one of those. Okay, here we go. Let's destroy... Right, now I just need to decide what to do, kind of put. What major changes are there in version 2? Well, the biggest one is that it's actually shifted up to a much newer version of Unity, and is as a result a lot more stable. And they've also redone the art on a bunch of blocks and things, so that's also a thing that they've done. And lastly, well, they've also added in a few turrets, few new turret blocks, which I've not really had a chance to play around with. But even the Unity update is a massive improvement to this game, so, you know. Oh yeah, that's right, they increased the battle size limit as well. I forgot about that one. Also, welcome to the stream, Raffia 16th Blaze. What would make a really good tiny boat? Lollard, I am shocked. You completely forgot that I'd scheduled a stream? How could you do this to me? Also, I can't see what I'm doing. Where did I have the chat on this one? Oh yeah, it was over there. Hang on. Try to make a transforming ship. There's only so much you can do about that, really, because you can only have single pivot points. What kind of transforming ship were you thinking of? Yeah, you thought I was doing a video on Starship Theory. No, the only video I've ever done that is a what you're doing. Thinking of bearings, scrap mechanic. I've still not played scrap mechanic. Do a moving shield array. Is it still impossible to use a spin block for walking? Yes, it is. Yep, those things are still blocked, owner. Um, yeah, the coffin nail has that idea beat ages ago. Yeah, spinning shields are a really old thing. They've been around a long time. There's also the fact that shields got changed recently as well. Hang on. Resource storage. I need a heartstone. And then I need a spawn block, I think. Trying to figure out where it is. Where's the spawn block? No, wait, origin block. That's the one. Origin block. There we go. Got that in there. This is a bit too small still, so I need a bit more room. What I'm doing right now is basically I'm building a really, really dinky little starter ship, which might be of use in adventure mode. So that's why it's got various bits and pieces attached to it. So I'm just building this out of my own curiosity, though I am still watching the chats to see what you guys try to throw at me to have me work on. So yeah, by all means, keep on throwing random ideas at me. I'm not ignoring you. Let's have an X junction there, and that'll be the vent, the exhaust. Got a fuel source. Got those. Got some resource storage. Okay. Water. What is a biodome? Or rather, what do you mean by biodome? I think I've missed something. Scrolling back in chat as soon as I figure out what I'm doing. There we go. That's the one I wanted. Right. Rolling back. River Home. That's an existing ship. Also, welcome to the stream, Harry. Build a biodome. Not really playing because... Hang on. Because it sucks I don't play campaigns. Make a fuel motor work. You are only RTG or Steam. Lol, you really should learn fuel engines sometimes. They are quite useful. Modular ships, maybe even ships combined together. Biodome is a structure in space that is a large dome encasing a chunk of land. Make a spin block on both sides of the back of the craft. Build a beam towards the front of the ship. Right. A double air tank on bot SIDs, so you don't have air in the main parts of your stable, but not your normal 3 body part build. Will I stream Cosmetia? Maybe at some point. Yeah, modular ships aren't really possible. The reason is, yes, the game. You can't effectively dock them together and move them apart like you can in Space Engineers. The game just doesn't support that. So when you place water, so when you lower the beams, the boat rises out of the water. I see. How useful are NPCs? I don't know. I've never used them. Yeah, I thought they were removed too. I'll have a look and see if they're actually in here. Build a World War II battleship. Disable full bot. Okay. No, the things are actually around a lot more longer than just an April thing. No, this thing is a bit unsteady. It needs supporting struts, sadly. So yeah, let's see. Yeah, it doesn't like rough seas, this thing. Yeah, pontoons, I think. Pontoons are more useful than a keel on such a small vehicle. At least that's what I've found. Let's see, wedge it at the front. There we go. And let's get those things geared up as well for propulsion purposes. There we go. Right. Definitely a thing. I'm not sure what this is exactly meant to be, but it's just meant to be like really basic, really small crafts. Let's see if it can actually move. I guess that's the ultimate test, isn't it? Can you move? Sort of. Let's see, can I tune you to half power? Still kind of trying to lift me up. Let's get these rear propellers in on the action. Yeah, it really likes to just pop up out the front there. Just too light. I think that's the problem. Just too light. Let's get some metal involved at the front. Okay, let's try that. What is ABH mod? Also, this thing is really slow, sadly. Well, this thing is not very fast at all, but it's actually got pretty decent turning. Not too bad. Yeah, I do think thrusters are needed to really give this thing some kick. So let's do something with that. Air, jet engines. Allow jet engines in air water mode. Oops. And let's crank up this motor again. So, still too much. Oh, I didn't even wire it in. Of course I didn't. Well, control it in rather. There we go. That's a bit too much actually. You're already at full. Yeah, the jets are just too powerful as they are right now. 8. 8. Yeah, let's set this to 8. 7, 8. Forwards. Still a bit too powerful. Oh, they're above the centre of mass, I see. Yeah, that... Okay. I wanted them a bit higher up to make sure they didn't go into the water. But, you know. Yeah. Now that they've dropped down, I'm now lifting up because of the front propeller, so... And now I'm going too far downwards because of because of the rocket power, so... This thing is kind of unruly, actually. It keeps trying to be a submarine, and oh, now it's taking to the air. Yay! This is not what it's meant to do at all. Oh no. Yeah, this is the problem with building fast ships. It's just the flipping drag that's a huge issue. But at the bright side, I've got a really small flying ship now. Ugh. It wants to be a hovercraft, grant it its wish. Okay. That's easy enough. Right. Strip out the water propellers. Give it some more jet skis for that. Okay, this should be... Whoops, what did I press? Oh, that, right. Then get this one back to full power as well. Okay. Yeah, I am extremely light, but the thing is, we're supposed to be kind of like a starting craft thing for adventure mode, that kind of scale, so it's not meant to be a massively powerful thing. If I built this to be a dedicated flyer, I could just do a great deal with it, really. But, yeah. Flush mounted jets. Uh, Railguns become more useful than before. Define useful. Yeah, define useful. I think that's probably my best response to that. Previous comment? What did I miss? Hang on. What did I miss? Scroll back, scroll back. Adds like 132 things to the game, makes it very convenient and more desirable to play. Recommend install it. Recommend install it. Mod decision very easy. Oh, I see. I'll have a look at it, I suppose. Yeah, PID hover. That's what I'm going for. PID hover, of course, requires a treble there, which is going to be pitch, roll, and altitude. Problem is, it's got to go up to a certain height, so I think 30 is what it needs to be. Of course, this is a slight issue with really light hovers. They can have a few problems getting properly sorted out. Altitude terrain actually works from sea floors, sea as well. So altitude terrain is actually terrain and sea level. So yeah, up it goes. So that's what it means when it says altitude terrain. Because yeah, as you can see, it's now bopping along like here. But the problem with PID is that it doesn't like very low terrain settings. So if you set it to hover at like 20 odd meters, it's more likely to just ditch in the ocean or something. Okay, it's twitchy, but I think I can fix that by... It's not pitch that's the problem, it's the roll. Let's turn down the responsiveness. Do the same with the pitch. There we go. And now, there we go. It's a thing. It wanted to be a hover vehicle, so now it is actually a flippin' hover vehicle thing. So, yeah. Needs more pitch power actually, so. And yeah, as you can see, now the PID got confused, so it let me dip down towards the. It dipped down towards the sea because the PID controlling my altitude was a bit confused after that. So actually, to be safe, I should increase the height a little bit further. To 50. So let's rise it. Increase pitch control to 0.5. And that should do something. There we go. I took what was going to be an initial adventure craft, and then because it wanted to be a flyer, I'm just now a flyer. Actually, that's why I've got aggressive pitch and roll stabilization, Rafia, because now it doesn't really care anymore, as you can see. By making the pitch control more powerful, it's now completely overriding the effects of using my thrusters. It tips up a little bit, but then it keeps itself stable. So, and now it's rising because it's flying over the terrain, so up it goes. And now it's a bit confused because I'm a bit low and the terrain was a bit steep, but it's also because the PID is in the back, I think. If I put it in the nose, it would probably be better at pitching when flying over terrain. Let's see. Yeah, are rails useful? Better to use rail rather than gunpowder? In terms of railguns, it's always better to use both. But you can make some decent railguns without needing to... Well, at least in my experience, you can make some decent railguns without needing to worry about, well, having to use recharging things. Hang on. I need a battery set. So I'm starting to install some batteries on the top here. There we go, this thing now holds 33,000 power. Right. Yeah, this is exactly why every time you come across someone streaming adventure modes, you see them generally just bopping along in a really powerful flyer. Because flat out it's so much easier and faster to get a flyer running around than it is to get a ship moving around, because ships, they are just struggling so much. I mean, look, I just whacked out some jet engines. Basically now I've got a 43 meters per second hovercraft here, made out of a really simple boat. So, yeah. This is apparently a thing, this, so yeah. Okay. Let's add some downslopes just because I'm mucking around with it. This is a monstrosity. Okay, right. I wanted to add an advanced cannon setup. Yeah, as I said, flyers are just flat out better, so it's kind of unbalanced that way. Advanced cannon firing piece. Give me a 3x3 mantle. And let's get this thing rigged up with... No, wait, hang on. I need the barrels. What the... hang on, what? Okay, nothing new there. Nothing new there. But then I click on barrels and it's like, what? Okay, I found some new stuff apparently. I did not know these were here. 2-meter barrel pieces. The heck? What's the difference between these things? Huh. Okay, what's the difference between these? Heavy barrel is a heavier armored barrel. Armor 25, weight much heavier, but much more health. Heavy, what? Heavy barrel. What's the difference between heavy barrel start? Connects to the front of the flying piece. Connects to the front of the flying piece. There's no difference between these two. So I have no idea what they're for. They're identical. Heavy barrel end. Okay, right. Okay, I think I know what I want to do. Right, gauge increase. Let's rank it up to a 200 millimeter. So this will be a 200 millimeter shell. Right. Heavy barrel is just flat out big and beefy, I think. So the difference between the start and end. Oh, I see. It gives it a kind of concave effect on it. Okay, let's add 4 meter barrel. That's now. Do railguns still work in the same way? Do I need to be careful with this? I think I do. Railgun attachment fixture. And then, yes, I do need to be wary of the mantle, so swap that out for a... azimuth. Azimuth. I think a 1 meter mantle is probably my best bet. There we go. Do I have Discord? Yes, I do. I'm not on there as often as I should be, I think, though. There we go. Don't let the railgun magnets spin. So, let's do that. Then let's add some charges to it. Yeah, I've given up on trying to make something that'll be useful in my campaign because Ono asked about railguns and if they're actually useful, so I'm working on something here. Okay, that's that. Let's actually get a shell out. Ammo customizer. Let's add a couple of bits. Hey Jason, welcome to the stream. Now, I need a railgun casing, and then let's get a sabot head. Let's just make a sabot, actually. There we go. Rail jaw, set it to 20,000. There we go. So this thing... 20,000, kinetic 1,300, armor piercing 86. So this thing will just ventilate anything it hits, basically. Oh wait, 200 millimeter. I need to, yeah. So I need to get it. There we go, 200 millimeter. Still got 34, 5,500 kinetic damage. So this thing's still pretty darn nasty. And it's a pure railgun shell. 20,000 power draw. Right. I'm not going to modify my battery, so I can customize my railguns now. What I want you to use is Apparently I can put a bigger set of charging rails on this thing. Well, this is a thing, isn't it? Let's see, 9,800. Yeah, it doesn't seem to want to go above about 10 to 11,000 on this thing. So I guess it's going to be a 10,000 shot railgun instead of what I was already working on. So, there we go. Right. Are we trying to shoot through a bulwark again? Yeah, pretty much. Let's do that. But the thing is, you try and show, like, owner thinks railguns are not reliable. So, don't fire until battery is fully charged. That would take care of that. 10,000 energy used per shell. So that's a 10k railgun down there. Needs to adjust my calculation. 24 AP, 4,000 kinetic damage. So mostly against lightly armor targets, but it still packs a bit of a wallop to it. Unless what will adding an extra railgun casing do to it? More AP, slightly lower damage. Okay. Yep, that's fine. Well, the gun won't choose dual duty expense to the engine. Not so. This thing will work because the railgun draws from the battery, and the battery is not being used for anything else. So the railgun will just wait until the battery hits full charge, and then it'll fire again with the current configuration. So that's what it does. Expected muzzle velocity 620 meters per second. Needs 2-meter shell racks for this. Yeah, okay, 2-meter shell rack. So yeah, this thing will work. The question is, how good is it going to be? That I don't know. Ammo clips, gauge. There we go, add that. Right. Autoloader, 2-meter autoloaders. Ammo clips. Actually, I don't really need to worry about this too much, do I? Because this thing's going to be restricted not more by its yeah, this thing's going to be restricted a lot more by how long it takes to charge the gun, rather than how long it takes to actually load up the clip. So it should be fine. Let's see, advanced cannons, ammo... No, I need ammo input. What am I doing? Ammo input feeds. That's that. Resources, ammo, storage. Let's add some more to that. There we go, right. Lead your past comment. Simpler 8-inch frag and flak aerodynamic heads. Oh, and shield enemies no longer beatable. No anti-shield anymore. Actually, they reduced the effectiveness of shields, I recall, as well. munition warners for an AMS system. Do they have to be attached to an AI in some sense? And I believe they do. Munition warners requires unrestricted view. Yeah, no mainframe connection. Munition warners need to be connected to the AI system to actually operate. And I also know, I'm also well aware of the fact that I'll blow up in comical fashion if I get hit towards the rear section of my vehicle. This is not a proper vehicle, let's put it that way. What was I doing? Oh yeah, here we go. Fall of shot predictor. Click. Enemy spawn, give me a deep water guard, give me a marauder. Thank you. Right then. And I want to get my engine ranking up faster to give me more power. So battery charge, increase that. There we go, that should be about right, somewhere around 50% power. Oh, hello incoming shell. Okay, yeah, that's about perfect then. And the railgun is now fully charged and ready to operate again. Hey, S40, welcome to the stream. And you're not allowed to leave, you've got to stay, so yeah. Yeah, it is very much a testing craft. Very, very much a testing craft. This is not going properly. Something somewhere has gotten a bit confused, so it's like tipping all over the place. What is even going on now? I don't even know anymore. Yeah. No, destroy the enemy vehicle, thank you.
Listening.
Yeah, I think it needs more stabilizers. Right now we're just mucking around basically, Swarty. No one's really giving me any concrete to build, so it's like, let's try this out, let's try that out, let's try something else out, basically. And that's all it's boiling down to. Yes, it does have a PID controlling its pitch, Shortest Viking. Also, welcome to the stream. The reason, well, it started out as a little boat to maybe something that would be useful at the start of adventure mode. Then it turned into, because it wanted to take off a lot, people said just turn it into a flyer, so I did. And then owner was concerned about saying railguns are not reliable and stuff like that, so I whacked a basic railgun onto the underside of this thing. And then it seems to have a few pitch issues, so it's like, turn off the hostile AI. I would love to, but I can't seem to remember how. Which key is it to do that? That's map mode, that's AI mode, it didn't show it there. Yeah, this is actually a building session, I'm afraid, Sporty, so, you know. Sorry about that. Yeah, I think what was going on there was very much pitch control that was messing up. The thing is, though, this is actually something you might see in adventure mode as well. It's a very strange little doodad. Let's get it into the air so that the PIDs can take over. Oh wait, it's got not got any fuel in it. Where's my fuel tanks? There's my fuel tanks. Let's refresh all the storage. There we go. And yeah, it does seem to be a sheer weight issue going on. Okay. Right, let's see. To fix this, I think I need... Yeah, it's just the weight of the entire assembly. The railgun assembly, I think, is the crux of the matter. Oops. It'll help if I also use mirror mode. Yay! Behold how good I am at this. Oh yeah, yep, now it's pitching the other way. That's what did it. It's because I added this massive railgun to the front of it and then didn't bother to adjust the design at all. That should be stable now. Oh, I've got some upward facing thrusters on the back. There we go, it's finally realised it's falling towards the ocean and kicked in. Right. There we go, now it should be weight balanced again. Because it's got a heck of a lot more pitch control. It's not got much by way of turning though. Should probably fix that. Let's do this. There we go. So now I've got some of those. There we go. There we go. That's got better turning on it now. Okay, so will he be back later? I really don't know what this thing is at all. Let's see. Let's add an AI mainframe under here, just because. An AI connector to a local weapon controller, which is going to be here. About 10 CET. So you might come in during the next stream then. Okay. Wait, Owner, what are you on about? I get you kind of hating on From the Depths now. But, what? Detection equipment, I need the gimbal. What the? Okay, there's another new thing here. Telescope gimbal tracker. Angular 0.05, range 8. So it's kind of like the camera one. Relative detection range of 2. So these things are better at detecting, right? Okay, see you later then, Anna. To your battery-powered UAV. Okay, let's see. Trying to work out what the point is between these. It's like... Oh, I see. So basically, it's a bigger thing. It's an extended version of the gimbal camera, I think, because its stats are all identical to it, except for the size of it, and it's more expensive. So okay, apparently I've now got a big telescope stuck underneath my craft. I just need a gimbal track radar to get good lock onto that. Let's add some 360 radars for initial detection purposes, and now I need to add some general purposes PIDs. Yeah, the new telescope thing actually looks pretty neat. I like it. I'm also in the wrong section. AI. Right, that's what I want. General purpose and cards. Click, click, click. Okay, that's got all those detection systems now running full. They'll provide max accuracy for the railgun itself. I've rigged the engine to kick up to high charge. Yeah, honestly, Owner may be talking about lack of new features and things, but I've stumbled across a bunch of new blocks I didn't know was actually in this update, so not sure what to say about that. But just the sheer effort that goes into updating an engine like this is really significant. It's really hard to do an engine update, so, and it's running so much smoother as a result. Ow. Now, how do I turn the enemy AI off again? Oh, man.
Listening.
Okay, so there's that. Seriously, how do I turn off the enemy AI? I would like to know how to do this. Ow. Darn it. C or V? That's V. Oh, here we go.
Turning off.
Flippin' heck. You, sir, are a menace. Flipping Marauder. Oh well, yeah. Okay, so I can use C to it. I read the rage. Welcome to the stream. Don't mind me, I'm just falling through the ocean like... Yeah. Yeah, it turns out C can be used to turn off the enemy AIs in this, so... Also, magnetic boots are a real pain.
Listening.
Yeah, slightly. Okay. Okay, Jason, see you later then. And Theo, welcome to the stream. Red the Rage, welcome to the stream. And yeah, honestly, my desktop was kind of bad before, and then the update hits, and I can play a bit more of it now. And then I got the new computer, and I can play even better. So the update to this game's engine is actually a massive deal. And it's just a difficult upgrade to do as well. So that's part of what's going on.
Turning off.
Let's add some repair systems, repair bots, because basically I've blown myself up twice now, so might as well, you know? There we go, that should help. Oh, they've updated the graphics on the repair bots too. Nice. It's about time, really. The repair bots actually looked really ugly before. A suggestion for a theme? Okay, lay it on me then. Oh yeah, I also need to refresh my fuel and ammo stores because they start out empty for when I rebuild them. Like that. There we go, everything's running at full power. And it's refusing to stabilize itself properly again. Oh wait, nope, no, now it's fixing itself. Right. Alright. Ain't the craft gonna need some scrap boxes to be able to repair bots to work? It's actually got... Wait, scrap boxes? No, it's got material storage already, so that would work. Lollard, I don't understand the question about what's happening in the engines. Um, yeah, they had a chance to redo a lot of the code. King of the Skies, lots and lots of air themes, crafts. In fact, nothing but aircraft. Maybe I should revisit my old C-shaped ship and see what to do with that. Hmm. Gotta admit, this thing actually looks pretty nice. It's really slender. How you will not explain it. Seriously, lad, I can't answer your questions if you don't tell me what the question is. I mean, come on. I'm not a mind reader. A traditional helicopter that acts as a mining drone. Oh, that's actually pretty simple. Except for the fact you would need to move around, but yeah, you know. Let's get a couple of control ACBs. Let's install them back here. Control AI mainframe set to off. Control AI mainframe. I've lost where the AI mainframe is. There it is. Right, set to on. T. And this one is set to G. So now I can manually toggle my AI mainframe to test it. So right, here we go. Okay, Red the Rage. See you later then. Well, I know you asked something about engines, Lollard, but I don't know what you asked. Also, I think I could do with a beefier engine just for the purpose of recharging the batteries. So, yeah, let's add a steam engine to this thing. Yep, it's EMP proofed. It's made out of wood, so no EMP is going to break this thing. What do I do to the engines to have more power? Oh, okay. Well, these fuel engines, the way these fuel engines work is, you got to your... Actually, it'd be easier if I just pull it out of the thing and show you. So you got your basic fuel block here. That's that. A Guttural Masticator, welcome to the stream. And also asking me what you're doing, that doesn't work because I only accept that question from one person. So, yep. But what I'm doing is just basically mucking around trying to work things out and showing off things. Darn it, Lollard, you're being difficult again. Ah. You asked something about engines and then refused to clarify. Anyway, steam engines. Let's add a... No, I'm on fuel engines. Let's get a large boiler, because why not? Add a small steam controller to it, because that works. Like that. Then let's add some steam piping. Corner pipes. There we go, I'm giving myself a bit of a steam bath there. La-di-da. In case the EMP hits the system instead of the armour. Well, the problem is between those is actually a... yeah, there's actually an exhaust pipe between those two ACBs. There we go, that should keep my power admirably supplied, I think. Let's turn on the thing again. Oops. Yeah, immediately recharges. Let's actually drop the chat slightly so I can see what I'm doing. Might be useful, you never know. But yeah, I've got this really basic railgun system installed now. And it does 7,000 points of damage every time it shoots, so... yeah, I'd say that's working pretty well. That did 16,000 damage. Ow. Of course it kicks a bit, but this is a pure railgun setup. And it's working pretty decently. If I can keep it supplied with power, it's fast firing and doing a fair bit of damage. Let's actually go and have a look at this thing, see what it looks like. Okay, that destroyed that. How's the rest of the ship looking? Not too bad. Problem is, it's not actually an area effect explosive, so this railgun doesn't deal massive damage. Also, it kicks pretty hard, so yeah, that shot did 10,000 damage. Okay, let's change this up slightly and modify the ammunition it's using. So, I've got treble railgun. Then I'm going to add in... what about that? 1,000 damage inside a 10-meter blast radius. So there we go, a pure HE ammo. And to update it, I'm just going to increase the gauge and then decrease the gauge, and that flushes all the ammo reserves straight out of the gun. So there we go. Oh, that did 12,000 points of explosive damage on impact. Yep, this is an efficient railgun. Well, it's a slow firing one, I admit, but it's definitely proving effective. And it's pretty reliable too. Right now it's just blasting massive holes in that thing. Oh dear. Yeah, Josh, you're welcome to the stream. And also... well, actually, it's only a 200-meter shell, so it's really, really good at reloading. It's not very long to wait, plus it's got a lot of shells that can reload at once, so it's not very bad on that. And as I showed you, you can flush the full ammo reserves inside a advanced cannon just by messing around with the gauge settings. Also, that was a terrible shot. Oh dear. Ooh. Well, that worked. With the less propellant. Well, the thing is, this is testing a pure railgun shell. These shells are not using any gunpowder at all. Okay, didn't wait for the aiming to be sorted out there, so... It looks a bit like a hovering black bird shape over there, doesn't it? Yeah, that's doing quite a bit of damage per shot. So let's actually reconfigure this again to a different type. Where's the shell? There's the shell. Right. This shell is effective out to nearly 2 kilometers. So it's not really built for long distance. It's a kind of a sluggish shell. If I put a nose on it, that will change. Oh, there's new heads. Frag head that creates a cloud of shrapnel. So, there's heads of the various explosive types. If I put a HE head on this, what will it do to it? Suddenly becomes 2.7 kilometer range and 387 meters per second. Wow. Okay. And it's exactly the same as the other thing. So yeah, these new heads endings are pretty nice. Anyway, I wanted to change it to something else. Let's put in a frag warhead instead. See what the Marauder makes of that. Let's flush out the ammo reserve again. Click, click. There we go. That'll start reloading. Turn off my AI, which is that, so the weapon won't try and target things. And my target is conveniently now sitting against an island, so how nice of it. Also, I forgot to include any kind of reverse gear in this thing. Oh well. Let's actually make sure it fires at peak accuracy there. Such a strange little craft to have hovering around the place, don't you say? Right, ready to test it with the frag cannons. 6.5k damage. Ventilated the side of the bridge. Turn off that. Let's go ahead and set down the speed. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I deliberately didn't set the cones on it, so they aren't actually optimized very well. But that was because I also wanted to see what the unoptimized ones would do. So 8.4, that did 8.5k of damage on impact, so that's not too bad. Come on, give me another flag shell, please. I want something entertaining. Or I could just turn off the AI, speed up, slow it down again, and then reactivate the AI. So there we go. It should be loaded, right? Come on, frag cannon, you're making a mockery of me. You really are making a mockery of me. Come on. Darn it. Are you going to reload anytime soon? Yeah, it says you're still reloading. Oh no, you are loaded. Okay, right. Okay, let's do that again. Slow it down. Arm the AI. And shoot. Yeah, that wasn't very good, that. It loads in like 20 seconds normal time. Actually, it doesn't. Okay, let's stop messing around with that and just take a look at the gun stats. Where's the gun stat? There's the gun. Right. What's its cooldown? Also, I should probably turn off the AI. There we go. AI is disabled. Yeah, it reloads inside 7 seconds. No, wait, that's not right. What's the cooldown? Cooldown 0 seconds. Shell loads in 7 seconds. But, yeah. So, about 5-7 seconds, really. That's not too bad. Okay, let's get another shell type in there, I suppose. What else have we got in here? I guess I could put in a squash head. I've never really used one of those. All explosive placed behind it into a shockwave, which blasts through things. Yeah, the recharge time is the key factor there because it's actually a pretty small railgun. Let's put some HE behind it, and then we'll go ahead and check the recharge time on the gun. Railgun settings. Takes 12 seconds to fully charge. Let's set an overclock to this. There we go. It takes now 7 seconds to recharge. Let's flush its ammo reserve again. So like that, and click. Sorted. And let's go ahead and keep on picking on this poor marauder. Ooh, that looked kind of nasty actually. Yeah, to be honest, this thing does look kind of ridiculous, given how it's shaped, but well, it's just a simple testing ship after all, so can't do anything about it. Anyway, is there anything else that I should do in this stream? Because I've just been mucking around with things. I mean, I've just got together this basic ship and I've mucked around a bit with railguns, and they definitely are far from useless. Add some recoil absorbers, it doesn't really need it, to be quite honest. Because it's such a small, light craft, it rolls back a bit, and that actually makes it more evasive. And it doesn't have any stability issues with it. So it's absorbing the recoil just fine. Could really use some reverse thrusters, I think. But other than that, it's a nice, solid little flyer. Yeah, exactly. The thrusters are the recoil absorbers because it just rolls around a little bit and then that's fine. It doesn't do anything else. Now, my question is, why is it aiming down there? What's it trying to hit? Oh, I see. The AI. That's what it's going for. Fair enough. Okay, let's turn the AI off for a moment, because I've had another amusing thought, I think. He says, while laughing nervously about how he's about to get mocked off the face of the planet, because it's not amusing at all. I'm actually going to strip out the railgun, so that's coming straight out. Let's actually get some wooden beams in here to support the railgun's position. There we go, that'll hold the railgun up. while I take out the advanced cannon, which was previously holding it to the ship. There we go. Because there is something else actually I want to test. How did I get to be so stable? Well, this thing is actually a PID controlled craft. It's got a lot of stabilizing thrusters and things around the place, but it's built around a PID core, which is somewhere in here. Here we go. Yes, it's got these three PIDs. There's one set for pitch control, one set for roll control, and one set for altitude. So really basic PID system there. And then it's got a lot of thrusters for it. So there we go. Now then. Let's add a new object to this. Let's add a two-axis turret. Actually, I need to add a block to that. Two-axis turret, add a wooden block to it. When's the next adventure mode? That is at... that's about 40 minutes, actually. So yeah, I'll be playing adventure mode in about 40 minutes, and I'll be stopping this stream in something like 10 minutes. Let's see, where is it? I just want the connectors. There's the connectors. Then it's the combiner. Then it's the flat-out optics. So there we go. And I need, of course, a laser colorer. Just whack it on the side there. Max. No, no, max. Yep, more failing on a boat, very much so. Now let's get back to the base part, because... no wait, I actually need to add the transceiver sets to this. Laser, energy weaponry, laser transceivers. Okay, now get back to the base part, and click. Ooh, okay, that's changed. Wait, no it hasn't, never mind. That's just me being a goof, basically. So I need to remake the entire turret now, from scratch. And luckily I'm going to be a bit more cheap about it, so it shouldn't take us long. Add that, add a colorer, check. Again, set max size, min, that's fine. Then just add a bunch of optics to it. Yeah, to keep a craft stable, you need at least two. One for roll, one for pitch for the PID system. But then you also require... if you're going to have a pure PID hovercraft, you'll need a third one which controls the altitude it goes to. Now, energy, multi-purpose laser block, a coupler with a single Q switch, then a cavity which has a single pump, like that, and 3-meter pumps, which are the new laser piece. So there we go. So this thing is now doing 80 damage. If I add in a single storage cavity, there's the cavity, click. No, I don't need steering optics. That's the thing, because I built it with. It's on a 2-axis turret. Now the main problem is, of course, I don't actually have an engine capable of dealing with it. So I think it's time to get another steam engine out here. That should be enough. I need to make sure that I reinforce this thing so it doesn't drop off the sides. That would be kind of bad. Turn off my mirror mode. Let's do it that way. Right. I need pistons. Small gearbox. Give me a couple of pistons. Click, 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 click. Case cranks. Okay, regular cranks, I guess. And a gearbox. No, not that, gearbox. Right, here we go. Whoops. I kind of forgot there. Right, let's see. At least let me bleed off the pressure in the thing. Sort of. There we go. Bleed off a bit of pressure. Because, of course, the boiler's been running for ages, so it's it just went bye-bye. So it needs to actually drop the pressure down because of the pistons. So there we go. And then that should run okay. For the most part. Now the problem is the boiler is still vastly overpressurized. So if I tear out the boiler now, it won't drop the pistons off the edge. But now it should be safe. I think. Yep, that's safe. Okay, right. Full charge available. Laser is operational. It deals 3,000 in a single pulse, apparently. Yeah, that's why I just tore out and rebuilt the boilers, because I know from my steam engine testing that this thing, that for each large boiler running at full throttle in terms of burning, can actually sustain 2 small pistons. So that's good. So, okay, let's turn on the AI. Oh wait, I never actually connected the laser turret to the thing. Never mind. Professional at work here, folks. Very much so. I need the NG weaponry transceiver. How's that holding up? Right. Let's see, I need to drop the firing rate, it seems. I can't actually see because chat's in the way, so chat's being an irritant. Hang on. Hey, move! Get out of my way, chat! Go away. There we go. There we go, that should give it a bit more charge time. Though, of course, the main issue is I don't actually put any AP on it, so I need to add some frequency doublers. And I think... Is that thing dead? No? Doesn't seem to be. Hmm. For some reason, it's just decided to stop. Okay. Destroy the enemy vehicle. Yes. And let's bring in a new fresh marauder to
Turning off.
do things. Oh, thank you, Josh. I'll try not to bore you too much, okay? Anyway, let's go over here and say hello to this other marauder. Yeah, the 3-meter laser pumps fit very nicely when you're putting them onto sections with laser cavities, storage cavities. When it says 500 AP, what? Why, what did it say? 500 AP. No, it's 450. Oh, I know what it is. They also changed the mechanics of the frequency doublers. So the doublers are affected by how many pumps the thing has. So that says it's 100. Now if I take off a pump here, now it's 114. So yeah, frequency doublers are affected very much by pumps. That's an 80. That's a 50. If I take off both of those, it's now 200 AP by default. Nasty thing, nasty thing. But yeah. No, it says here 50 AP is the armor piercing value on the pulse laser. That's what I was reading. Also, I kind of want to know why my craft is insisting on turning to the right. Must be just kind of tipping over a little bit. But yeah, it says on the stats there, as you can see, that this thing has a... Oh, it stopped firing because I turned off the AI. I see. Whoops. I think I might go for a compact laser system, actually. When I go into adventure mode. What do you guys think? Should I try that? A compact laser? Now, of course, for it to work, I need an engine capable of, you know, feeding it, but might be good. Yeah, its AP is now down to 25, but it's consistently doing 2,000 a shot. Let's add some more. Now it's consistently doing 3,000 per shot, but it needs more AP. 37. Let's take off the firing limit I put into it, because, you know, why not? I kind of feel sorry for that Marauder now. Yeah, I kind of feel sorry for that Marauder. And the AI is dead on it as well, so, yeah. It's almost sustaining at its maximum potential. No, it's just shy of its maximum potential sustaining that. So, let's add 2 more Q switches. Let's spawn in another Marauder. Make the laser bigger, Lollard. What are you talking about? Have you seen what this thing is doing to it? I don't need a bigger laser. It's as simple as that. Look at this thing. I think this laser is plenty big enough, really. Kind of nasty, to be quite honest. Do it. Well, I think this Marauder's kind of dead at this point, so turn off my AI. How's the power drain? That's the rub, though, isn't it? If I turn it on. That is roughly a 3.5k laser for continuous fire. That one. Yeah, a 3.2k power drain for this particular laser configuration. Yeah, 3,200 lasers. 3,200 energy drain for this laser. One, two, three, four, five. Chop it off there. Right. And then... When did I start playing this game? Quite a while back, but I've been playing it off and on for some time, but... there we go. Apply that to all. That's the code. Now we've got a really short wave laser, but it's going to be very nasty. So that's that. I don't think I have enough engine power to probably keep this thing running. In fact, I'm pretty sure I don't have enough engine power, but hey, you know, you've got to live a little and all that stuff, so... Turn you off. Where are you? You are there. Okay, now I need to turn the AI back on, and we get to watch the fireworks. Oh, this is really nice, this thing. And that thing's dead. No, the cavities are not keeping up. This thing is draining. My engine is only half the strength it needs to be to actually keep this thing supplied with power, so it's not keeping up properly. I can change that soon. Hang on, chat. I'm going to have to move you again, though. You can go sit back over there where you were. Now, just stay in your corner and be good, okay? Why am I doing it? Your chat. Of course you're not going to be good. Right. Height. Width. Get some length on it. Bit less length on it. There we go, and then I can just whack another power source down. There we go. That should about roughly double my power supply. This craft looks kind of ridiculous, but hey, what can you do? Do you get a biscuit if you're good? No, but I might throw a dog treat at your face. So how does that count? I think that counts. Oh, look how that damage is racking up now. Flipping heck. Yeah, don't worry, Gospel. I did work out the theory of small pulse lasers, remember? If you didn't see that, I did work out a full theory video on building compact pulse lasers and how to get the most out of them. And it really is as simple as working out the cavities and stuff to just try and get the power sorted out. Now, what will happen if I take that off? Oh dear. Well, that is a light show, I suppose. Yeah, it still counts. It's still about the same. So, I mean, I just built this thing on the exact same principles of building small but effective lasers. So, yeah, it's all still good. Yeah, this thing doesn't really stand much of a chance against me now. Oh dear. No, that said, the low accuracy of the lasers is having a slight effect on it. I must admit that. Yep, that's very, very dead. Okay. Not bad for a little testing ship. Turn its AI on? Okay. Let's spawn one in, but leave it with its AI turned on. Yeah, I'm sorry, Joshua, but I don't think it's actually standing much of a chance, right, you know. Because I'm just too mobile, I'm just wandering around it, peppering it with laser fire, so, yeah. And, yeah, it can't do anything against me from this angle, so... I'm just slowly melting it. And that is the mobility difference between the ships and airships in a nutshell as well. My airship can move around very easily while the ship is just languishing in the water. Is it better to have one laser in one system or more? You mean like in turrets like this, where I've got two lasers installed? Well, if I took out one of those lasers, it would be firing a single laser shot, but it would be twice as powerful. So, effectively I'm splitting the charge between these two lasers right now. But splitting it actually has some benefits of its own, like if you're in a short barrel laser system, it can be more effective to have multiple things like this. So now we're going straight into the territory of things like laser shotguns and stuff like that. So yeah. So each of these individual shots will not be very strong, but there's a lot of them. So let's try this one out then. Oh, there it is. So yeah, as you can see, it's doing its best to try and keep things going. The individual lasers are not very powerful. So yeah, this is too many lasers. I've diluted this power too much for the... so the individual lasers are just too weak, basically, at this point. So let's cut this down to a 6 array instead. And there we go, they're suddenly doing a bit more damage per hit. Yeah, if that is what you really want to do, if you can set it up to have... you can set it up to have... if an individual beam will vaporize a metal block, then it does a massive amount of damage pretty quickly. Now, let's do as the final thing for this particular stream, because if I don't stop soon, I'm going to be streaming like all the way through into adventure mode. So yeah, I do need to take a break, basically. But I'm going to strip it down to a single beam, and that's that. And I'm going to add that again and turn it into a massive red beam of doom, like that. And we'll see how this one compares to massed small beams versus the Marauder. So here we go. Yeah, it still suffers from the lack of accuracy, but the individual beams are a lot stronger, so they're punching through more. And when will adventure mode start? In about 15 minutes, roughly. So yeah, a single really powerful laser can do a lot, but it depends on the power of the system behind the laser, how much you might want to have multiple smaller lasers. Most people just go for a single really big laser, as big as they can support, but having more individual shots has benefits all of its own. Like, it's much easier to hit smaller agile targets with a smaller laser system if you have multiple shots going off at once. So yeah, stuff like that. Still, that has been me mucking around in construction mode, and it wound up turning into a light flyer, railgun testing, and laser testing. So, you know, that's just kind of how it worked out, isn't it? Oh, I was actually doing that without my second power plant, because apparently I forgot to copy the fuel controller for it. Whoops. So all those tests, this laser has apparently been running at half power. So, oh well. I am but human, I will make some mistakes. That's kind of inevitable. Anyway, I'll be back to stream adventure mode in something like 15 minutes or so. So, this has been iMark3, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you all later. So yeah, see you later. But before that, what's cheaper? What's better? Cheaper units you can spawn loads of, a single expensive one? Depends on how effective the small cheap unit is. If the unit is too small and too cheap, it'll basically just go bang immediately and then just be a waste of resources. So you need something which has at least some reasonable survival ability. And yes, this thing would be very nasty against flying squirrels. But yeah, see you all later.